Nore apologized in less than 24 hours. What up, World? Charles Brown back again talking facts. All right, man. My man Nore, Drink Champs, right? Who knew it would ever come to this? Listen, I got love for Nore. I got love for EFN. I got love for the whole Drink Champs show. I am a big supporter of Drink Champs. I am not, however, for quite a few years now, a supporter of Kanye West by no stretch of the imagination. And the simple fact of the matter is, Nore is friends with Kanye. Kanye gives Nore his biggest views of anyone, and Nore wants the views. It's as simple as that. It ain't no deeper than that. It ain't no more. It ain't about freedom of speech. All of this stuff that Nore trying to spin into. And again, I'm not here to bash Nore. I just gotta be on it with you. So Nore went on Hot 97 and on Power 105, which is the Breakfast Club, to apologize in less than 24 hours since that video came out. What happened was Nore put a tweet up, and I'm going to assume that it was the night before, because there's no way Nore woke up this morning and put a tweet up saying, we got more views than Sunday football, LOL, and hit send on that. So I'm just gonna give Nore the benefit of the doubt that Nore would have sent a tweet so crazy the night before he went to sleep. Because when Nore woke up in the morning, absolute chaos and bedlam had ensued on that tweet. And I want to say about 95% of the people on that tweet were calling Nore a moron and telling Nore he was the problem, and that all it took was some money and he sold out his entire race. By the time he woke up, before he set up all these interviews, this tweet was viral. Nore was trending #1 on Twitter this morning. I was like, I woke up, I was like, why is Nore trending? The Kanye interview was probably 2 days ago. Why is he trending? Because what happened was, when they were done giving Kanye Donkey of the Day, they said, oh, and look at this other goofball sitting there while he's saying George Floyd died of fentanyl. They're like, what's the interviewer's name? Because most of the people, they don't know who he was. Let's just be honest. Us hip-hop heads and us podcast people who watch Drink Champs, we know Nore very well. We know Nore for years. But most of these people in this conversation with the anti-Semitism and all, they don't know who Nore is. They have no idea. So they were like, who's the guy talking to him that looks slizzed out of his mind like he's about to pass out? It's Nore. He's drunk. It's called Drink Champs. They drink. They drink and they ask questions, and it's supposed to be a fun show, right? I really enjoy it a lot of times. I watch many episodes of Drink Champs, clips and full 2 hours, 3 hours. Drink Champs is a staple in our community. This is what we watch, because they talk to legends that we revere, and they get things out of them that we want to know. It's simple as that. They get them drunk, and they apply these great stories out of them. It's an amazing show. It ain't meant for this political buffoonery. It's not meant for this. But somehow, him and Ye have become best buddies, and Ye made his third trip up there, even after everyone was like, do not have him on. He went to Tucker Carlson, and they had to edit half of the stuff out because you can't put it out in the real world, the stuff that he's saying, because it sounds insane. And it's very problematic, and it's very hateful, to be honest with you. If you understand what hate speech is, if you're a clueless person that looks at everything through the eyes of some freaking 13-year-old, then you don't know what hate speech is, and you don't know why this is a problem, right? You have no clue why is White Lives Matter sure the problem? Don't they matter? White lives don't matter? You don't get, I mean, what do you mean? Right? To you, right? You're in a fantasy world, right? Where Hannah Montana still is Hannah Montana and no one knows. Like, you're living somewhere else, right? But in the real world, it's a problem because it's literally a white supremacist quote that a black man put on a shirt and made all his models wear the shirt in a room full of white people, right? It is an adopted quote of white supremacists that he put on his own back. After everything that his people have done to get him where he is, he goes and put on a shirt that says they're better than me. That's why. So the simple fact of the matter is, when we peel back the layers of all of this stuff, right? This is somebody who you should not have on your platform at this point, unless one of two things. You want him to say these things, right? Or he's a good friend and you want the views. So Nore clearly didn't want him to say these things because he went in less than 24 hours that the thing came out. Because we've been seeing clips about the thing and da-da-da, but when they really dropped it. So the clips came out 2 days. But the real full interview, for lack of a better word, came out yesterday. And when that thing hit the net, it hit, because I believe it was Baller Alert who took the clip of him saying what he said about George Floyd. They put it out a day before they dropped the full interview. And God bless Nore's heart. In his mind, the buzz that was leading into the interview was good for the interview, right? The buzz leading into it was like, oh, we gonna kill him this time. It's gonna kill him. Oh, we gonna blow it. We gonna what's the term? We gonna break the internet, right? In Nore's mind. So we get all this word that all this stuff is coming. It's going to be anti-Semitic. It's going to be hateful. It's going to be racist. And it's on top of all that, he's going to make the amazing claim that George Floyd did not die from a knee. The knee wasn't really on his neck, quote unquote. The knee wasn't really on his neck like that. The knee wasn't really on his neck like that. I watched the documentary because the knee was I watched the documentary. What documentary? Oh, the documentary that Candace Owens put out. Oh, well, goddamn, what did you say less? You just solved the case, right? Right? You solved the case. Never mind that the coroner said he died of the knee on his neck. Never mind that the officer is in jail, if I'm not mistaken. What, he get life? I don't know what he got. 20 years? I don't know. Whatever he got, he ain't getting out. But according to Kanye West, he watched the documentary and now he cracked the case. And he didn't die of a knee on his neck. Okay, so all of that is what you get when you put this guy who is clearly, it ain't even about meds no more. It ain't even about mental health no more. It's not about none of that no more. It's a fact that we still pay attention. If you were walking down the street and that guy was on the corner with a cardboard sign and nothing, and whatever raggedy stuff he wears, that he with Yeezus and all that, and he was out there saying all of this stuff, either they would come and commit him or ignore him. And you, looking in this camera right now, you wouldn't stop for 2 seconds to hear what that lunatic was saying on that corner. You wouldn't stop for 2 seconds. You would scooch out the way so he couldn't touch you on accident. But somehow, because he's rich, made a lot of good songs, made a lot of money for a lot of people, and a lot of people are now scared of him. They're scared to tell him anything because they don't want to lose the connect. Because when he come through, he bring a lot of bags of money with him. Nore and them sat up on a lot of money with this guy. That's why they did, what they say, Yay Part 3. They sat up on a lot of bags of money. A lot of checks got cashed when Kanye did them first 2 interviews. Let me tell you, buddy. And these guys just won an award for that show. A lot of money flew through there when that guy showed up. Everywhere he go, a lot of money follow him. So you're going to pay attention. You're going to let him have his due diligence. You're going to let him have his time. And you damn sure ain't going to try to stop him. See, people People are like, why Nore didn't jump in? Are you insane? Why didn't Nore challenge it? What are you supposed to? This the golden egg. Nore said it. He said that before it started, Kanye said, if you don't let my people record, I'm going to walk out of the interview. If you try to stop it in any kind of way. Say less. Speak, brother. Take this shot. Take this shot. Nore tried to get in front of it by saying, watch the full interview. Don't just go by what people puts a clip of it, puts a clip of the interview and says, don't watch the whole interview. Don't just go by the clip. Meanwhile, promoting the clip. Right? So enticing you to watch the full. This thing is all about the numbers. So the reason that he's not trying to stop Kanye because he wants the whole 3 hours. You know how much advertising dollars is in 3 hours? You know how many commercial breaks is in that? You know how much people start paying to be a part of that? How much sponsorships, how much direct money funneling right? Wait, we got Kanye. Hold it. Listen, we let's make a deal. Let's talk, right? This is how people get beautiful condos in Miami and things like that. This is this kind of stuff this is built around, right? So what I'm saying is, when you understand why he couldn't stop him. It ain't that he wanted to, he couldn't. Because if he stopped him in 20 minutes, when Kanye said that about George Floyd, that was literally like 15 minutes in. It was about 15 minutes in. I remember because I was about to tweet. I was going to say it's 15 minutes in and this dude already is unwatchable to a sane person. So I'm watching. And I'm watching Nore kind of check in. He's just asking, give me another shot. Let's go. We getting drunk. And I'm not even expecting him to try to stop because he never does. This is the third interview. You have to remember. This is not the first or the second. This is the third. I've already seen him meatball and storm through these interviews like he all over the place and they can't even stop him. And don't want to, frankly. Nore gets criticized for cutting people off. He ain't going to cut this off. He's not going to have this man walk out this room. 25 minutes in, the biggest interview. You blew it. Let him talk about George Floyd. Let him, whatever you want to talk about, let him go. Let him talk about his kids. Let him talk about Kim. Let him call Kim's mom a hoe. Like do whatever. Do it. Do all of it. Right? Say on one hand, the white Jews are the problem, but the black Jews are do it both, all of it. It all going to make sense at the end. We're just going to mix it. We're not going to edit nothing, and we're going to throw it out we're going to have it up in 2 days. Right? We're going to let it roll. Everyone's saying, no, Charlamagne's telling, no, don't, Nore, don't do it. It's not worth it. This is big money right here. We're going to roll the dice on this. Nore says he don't listen to his interviews, and he didn't listen to this one. They don't edit nothing, and they're not going to edit this one. All this stuff, which I get it. It's whatever. It's your show. All right, and do your thing. He said, now we're going to edit. A lot of people thinking that's from the top. Right? A lot of people thinking that's the very same Jewish people that Kanye was talking about is the ones that said, oh, you're going to edit these shows from now on, and we're going to delete it. Because it's deleted now. The thing lasted 1 day. As a matter of fact, I think it was this time last night that I was watching that show, and now that show's been gone off the thing for over 2 hours. That thing didn't last 24 hours. Nore went on the world tour apologizing, telling everybody he's sorry, he's blacking and black. So this is my thing, and I love Nore. And we all make mistakes, and I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Right? But Nore wasn't the black man for this job because there's no way in the world you're going to let this guy sit there and start telling you that his knee wasn't really on his neck like that. It's no way you're going to sit there when you seen how abusive these cops have been to us, to me and you, and it ain't always, we always die, but stuff happens, right? And you're going to set there and let this guy say his knee wasn't really on his neck like that, it ain't many black people you gonna find that's gonna say something like that. It ain't many. The ones that's gonna say that are detached 100% from their race, or they don't care. There's no other reason to say something like that if you know what's really going on, right? But somehow he said it more than once because he went into some other stuff about it. Oh, his mama, that's his girlfriend. He did an 8-minute prayer. Do you understand? He's trying to diminish this man right in front of Nore. He's trying to make this man into something that is almost a caricature of a man. He has misinterpreted every single thing that happened to that man, and Nore sat there and let him do it. We saw this racist piece of crap with his hands in his pocket, with his knee on this man's neck, looking around like, yeah, and what? Until he died. If you can watch that for 9 minutes and not almost cry, you probably a demon, right? So the simple fact that anybody could watch that and walk away with his knee wasn't really on his neck like that. So everybody that do that, we need to put our knee on your neck for 9 minutes. Just my opinion, right? And see if it's on there right or not, right? And see if you say, I can't breathe. But the simple fact of the matter is, Ye says these things because he's tapped out. He's tapped out. He makes more money with white people than black, so he can disparage us. That's why it's been years of him doing it. Right? Years of him doing it. We don't have the organization and we don't have the muscle to band together when he says these things, so he does it on repeat. So he went in there with this George Floyd narrative because he can. He doesn't get money from us. He gets it from over there. So he's going to cater to over there. That's why he has a White Lives Matter shirt on. Does it make sense now? None of this is for you. He said, I'm going to save my people. Save them from what? The same people you're spreading their message for them? Who you saving us from? I'm just curious. And now you're attacking Jewish people because that's what they want to hear. You're writing the same blank checks that Candace Owens is writing. Because that's where they're paying at. And now you're talking about a presidential run. Guess what? Them the same voters that Trump got. He pieced it all together one night. He was like, you know what? If I get that same demographic, they're not only going to support me and pay for my things and lift me up to the admiration that I deserve, they're also going to vote for me. If I can get the same exact demographic that he got. He told you years ago, if he can do it, I can do it. But he meant literally. We didn't know he meant literally. If he can play with this white supremacy stuff, then I can play with it. If he can put the red hat on, then I can do it. He's doing everything that Trump did. So the simple fact of the matter is, Nore walked right into this trap because he's being greedy. It ain't clout, it's greed. And the simple fact of the matter is, Nore and EFN sat there and let this man talk for over 2 hours before they even had any kind of real interaction with him. Nore's trying to pin a man on talking points about political. Oh, don't just say you're gonna do it. Tell me how. Dude, this guy don't have no plans. You're trying to pin a man down on his presidential talking points, and he's like a daggone 8-year-old. He doesn't have any plans. He doesn't have a cabinet. He doesn't have any running mates. He doesn't have anything. Because he's not trying to really win anything. He's trying to make money. And so the only thing EFN is trying to do is pin him down on some imaginary, I'm going to stop all wars. Well, don't just say you're going to do it. How you going to do it? How you going to stop all wars? I'm just going to stop all wars with love and God. Like, oh yeah, that's all it takes. That's how we stop all the wars, just love and God. That's what we're going to do. These guys were outmatched, first of all. And if you watch any interview, I dare you. I'll delete my entire channel. You show me an interview that Kanye West had where the interviewer wasn't scared shitless that he was going to leave that thing. Every single one of them. Tucker Carlson, Charlemagne, every single one of them. Tap dancing and letting him say whatever he wants to say. Tucker Carlson is the king of cutting you off. He sat there and let that man say whatever he wanted to say. Charlemagne did the same thing. All of them. They sit there and let this guy go because if you interrupt them too much, he gets antsy. He loves to hear himself talk. He only came to you because you're going to let him talk. He didn't come to answer your questions. He don't come to answer his questions. Now, he knows that he needs to have the appearance of an interview. All right? A narcissist needs someone to play off of. He needs the appearance. Oh, it looks like they're interviewing me. Nore was never matched. He was outmatched from the jump. And when this guy is this chaotic talking about this particular subject, the absolute last person on earth is Nore that's going to control this guy. He said, you think you're going to control this interview? He said it early in the interview. He said, do you think you're going to control this interview? It is a fact. Told Nore that. Nore was outmatched from the time that he sat down with this guy. Right? First of all, he would never sit down with somebody who's going to challenge him. He's not going to sit down with a Roland Martin. Right? And then Nore put the tweet up, oh, I want this guy, that guy, Umar Johnson. He wants, what's this guy? I can't think of his name. The other, his two other black activists. I'm bugging right now. But he put the tweet up. And he's like, can y'all come on the show? It's too late, Nore. It's too late. You asking serious people to come on a drinking show. Don't change the show. Just do a show like you're supposed to do it. Don't bring in no goofball on this political, anti-Semitic rants that don't have no respect for you or your platform because he would not have said these things if he had respect for your platform. Your video didn't last 24 hours. It got deleted. The last video he did was on the shop. They never even aired it. The video before that was Tucker Carlson. They cut out 40-something minutes of it because they can't put it out. He came to you and said all this goofy stuff. Now you're apologizing, and now he moved on with his life. They took away 2 arenas from him. They told him to get all his money out the bank, and everything is going downwards. And this is the guy that you decide to have on. I understand political connects. I understand when people are friends and that's my boy. You're going to risk everything to be boys with this goofball. And the simple fact of the matter is, he's going to be all right. He's moving on. Now, Drink Champs got to figure out their new direction. They're talking about editing and running stuff by people before it goes. Now, their whole platform is under review. And George Floyd's family is considering legal action, which they will take. I'm guaranteeing you. He did the exact same thing that this other guy did, right? He did the exact same thing. And what's going to happen is they're going to win. Because Kanye West is too big of an entity, right, to say something so reckless. The reason he is too big to say this is because now that narrative that was already bubbling, it had died down, but now it's back out there. And now all of these people are going to be using this man's information or misinformation to now disparage their son and their father and their husband or whatever he was to people, right? Now it's going to go right back to what it was, even on a higher level. People that never even heard that are going to be saying, oh, maybe, oh, he died of fentanyl, right? They're going to win. I'm telling you in advance, they're going to sue him and they're going to settle this before it even goes to court. This is what happens when you don't listen to anybody and you think you're bigger than the system. Sometimes the system is not as useless as you think it is. There's quite a few other people about to learn that this system ain't as useless as you think it is, right? Simple fact of the matter is, Nore, I love Nore. I'm still gonna watch Drink Champs. My opinion has not changed to Drink Champs. I just know Nore was outmatched, outgunned when it came to this. Nore did this for the views. He got the views. He told you in a tweet, I got more numbers than Sunday Night Football. Than all football the whole day. I got more numbers than all. And the next day, he's on the world tour apologizing. You realize, oh boy, somebody called him, scared the entire mess out of this man. Somebody said something in his ear that he ain't never heard in his life. And he realized he effed up. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Did Nore do the right thing by apologizing? Or should he stood his ground? Some people like he should have stood his ground. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This is the realest thing I could ever tell you. This is the realest thing I could ever write for you. Nore should not have apologized. It is a show about drinking. It is not hard news. This is a show that patterns itself of being completely reckless. Some of these guys leave out of that studio with clear alcohol poisoning as he's telling them to take another shot because they can't pick between Big Pun and Biggie. Right? It's not a journalistic show. Nore should have been like, I apologize for what he said, for letting that get out, but he shouldn't be apologizing for everything. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry for. No, it's not he's apologizing for not stopping him when he said George. This is a show that's goofy, right? Once you start apologizing for everything, now everything. Every time you do anything, you got to apologize. Some stuff, it is what it is. Kanye is a mess. We knew that going in. Nore has to take a stand for his own platform. You were proud of that last night when you tweeted, we did big numbers. Stay consistent. Don't apologize because the heat is on. You need to apologize when you really feel you messed up. And how do you feel you messed up in 24 hours? Less than 24 hours. So I think the backlash made him feel apologetic, but I don't think he's sorry for what was done. They got what they wanted. They got big numbers. That's what you wanted. That's what you got. So when you dish out an apology, it needs to be for what it's really for. If you're really, really sincere about falling back in it, then apologize. I don't believe that Nore is that sincere about this. I believe Nore is sincere when he's scared. Nore is sincerely scared. And that's why Nore apologized. And that's all I'm going to say about that. CLBMG, I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.